Imagine turning up for an operation and facing this.
Good morning, Trish. My name's Harold Ellis. I'm the surgeon that's going to be operating on you today, my dear.
Well, hello, Harold, but where exactly are we?
Well, we're in the old operating theatre as it would have been 150 years ago.
Oh, gosh, what have I been laying on?
Well, this is the old operating table that we always used to use.
It's like a kitchen table. It's made of wood, yeah?
It is just like a kitchen table. In fact, we often used to use the kitchen table.
Oh, and sawdust.
This is to stop the blood trickling down through the floor onto the patient's heads in the ward below.
Right, okay, and I can see
This is a very ingenious machine, a box full of sawdust, and we've moved that under where we were operating, and you can see there's the blood from the last patient we did, you see, and instead of going on the floor, I managed to catch it all in that box. But we would change that between each operation, you see, so that wouldn't be for you.
Talking of blood, what were the cutting instruments?
Well, this is for, if we're going to cut off a leg, for example, that's for cutting through the flesh. We call that an amputation knife.
It's a bit like a kitchen knife.
It is a bit like a kitchen knife. We've got different sizes of those. Then to cut through the bone itself, we use this saw. Gosh. Very much like the sort of saw you'd use for...
Yeah, my dad's cupboard. Dad's
sawing up a log, absolutely. Then when we finish the operation, we'd give the instruments a big good wipe. No point in using a clean rag for dirty instruments. We'd get that washed at the end of the day.
Washed? Oh, well, at least you washed your hands.
Yes, we used to wash in this hand basin, but we used to wash at the end of the operating list.
At the end? Not before?
No point in washing before or during, because we'd only get our hands dirty, although if they were really very bloody, I might wipe them on this old apron of mine.
Yes, I can see it's a bit bloody.
There was no cleaning up between patients. You can see why it's called a theatre. These platforms would be crammed with onlookers in everyday clothes. Warm, moist blood, a warm atmosphere, ill patients, lots of nooks and crannies. The perfect home to a secret army of bacteria living and multiplying in perfect conditions.
It may seem obvious to us, but 150 years ago, nobody gave a second thought about cleanliness and hygiene. No one had ever seen a microbe because modern microscopes hadn't been invented. So those deadly little enemies were allowed to do as they pleased. And that was why there was a high death rate from infection. In fact, many of the people, over half, that came here for amputations ended up dead.